Welcome to the Eat Better, Move Better, Live Better podcast presented by Flourish with Tracy, where we'll dive into the realms of holistic wellness, plant-based nutrition, yoga, and self-care to help you live your best life. Tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern for our special segments. Meditation Monday. Start your week with mindfulness. Wellness Wednesdays. Get the midweek boost you need. Sadhana Saturdays. Dedicate weekends to personal growth. Join us as we explore and discuss all things to eat better, move better, and live better. Welcome. Today I'd like to talk about your mat. Oftentimes when we take our yoga classes, we talk about leaving it on the mat. Leave it on the mat. Allow the mat to receive. And it's simple on the surface. However, what we fail to do when we leave it on the mat is to clean the mat. Not sanitation, not disinfection, not wiping away the sweat for hygienic purposes. We understand that. But what about clearing the mat? Clearing what we leave behind. There's a sacred practice to renewing and embracing energy when we clear the mat. Everything that the mat has held and taken away from us. Your mat is not just made out of fabric or rubber or cork. It's a sacred space where you kneel, you weep, you sweat, you release, you pray, you meditate, you breathe, you rebuild yourself. Your mat is not just merely physical. Your mat is energetic. It's emotional. It's spiritual. And when we step onto our mats, we are stepping into a relationship, a sacred relationship. And that relationship requires honor and respect and maintenance to tend to our mat. So take a deep breath in and release and imagine the mat that you have. Imagine that mat beneath you. And begin to notice and observe, what has your mat been holding for you? See your mat as sacred ground, a consecrated space. And when you practice, your energy is flowing, it rises, it releases. Think about the last deep hip opener or tears that surprised you, grief that you release, gratitude. Your mat absorbs the imprint of that experience, not in a mystical or superstitious way, but in a relational way. And when you step onto the mat, you're bringing your nervous system, your thoughts, your emotional residue, your story. And now over time, that story imprints on the mat. And that imprint can shape behavior. And every time you practice, you reshape. But what happens if you never consciously released what you processed? And so as you bathe your body in release and gratitude on the mat, we must also bathe and release the mat, the space that holds this transformation, to clear, to make space for new. So ask yourself, what has your mat witnessed this past month? What do we need to clear from the mat? Beyond the physical muscular body, the subtle body, the energetic field includes emotion, thought, and our life force, our prana. And as we move through asana, our physical postures, we move through the life force. We move our prana. And when prana moves, emotion moves. Which is why when you've finished your practice, you may feel lighter and released. This lightness is not just a physical release, it's an energetic clearance. So all of this goes into your mat. You may have cried, released, processed heartbreak, and let go old fears. It's all in the mat. And then we roll the mat up and put it away. Clearing your mat becomes a ritual of completion, a signal to your nervous system. I've released. The space is clear. I am whole. Clearing the mat also seals your practice and allows the mat to release any residual. There's a psychology to the practice of closure and completion. Your brain thrives on completion cycles. Open loops, things that are not resolved, create subtle tension. So when you end your practice without tending to the space, you leave this energetic loop open. When you clear your mat, it becomes closure. It becomes integration, gratitude, and reset. In some Zen traditions, monks sweep the temple floors daily, not because the floors are dirty, but because the act of sweeping clears the mind. When you clear your mat, it's the same as clearing the mind and sweeping your temple. If your mat could speak, what would it say that it's holding? So how do you clean and clear your mat? We're not, again, talking about physical cleaning, which is important for hygiene purposes. We're now talking about intention. So acknowledge, reflect, cleanse with intention, seal the practice. And how do you do that? Acknowledge by standing on top of the mat, placing your hand on it, and say, "Thank you for holding me." Reflect by asking yourself, what did I release today? What surfaced? What shifted? Name it, notice, observe it. Naming integrates emotion. And then cleanse with intention. As you are physically cleansing your mat, keep it simple. Water, perhaps a few drops of lavender or lemon. And as you clean your mat or with warm soapy water, imagine that you're clearing away stagnant energy, dissolving old imprints, returning to neutral. As you wipe and cleanse the mat, move slowly. Let each stroke be intentional, soothing the nervous system. And you can whisper with gratitude, I, through this mat, release what no longer serves. I clear this space and this mat for new growth. And seal the practice. Roll the mat. You can roll it towards you if you wish to symbolize calling your energy back in. And this becomes a sacred boundary. And so use the metaphor of clearing and cleaning your mat to extend to your daily life. Where else do you need to clean or clear your mat? Perhaps after an argument or after grief, after growth or any intense session. We move oftentimes from one experience to the other without taking time to clear the residual or residue. The mat teaches us process. Our mat teaches us release. Our mat teaches us integration. Our mat teaches us clearance, completion, and the opportunity to begin again. This mirrors the yogic path of purification, not being perfect, just renewal. Cleaning and clearing your mat is acting without clinging. You practice fully, you feel fully, you release fully. Now you get to clear the ground, the mat, fully for what is yet to come, for your next practice. This is non-attachment. So you can also imagine, if you're still imagining on your mat or physically on your mat, remembering the surface beneath you, sensing the memory of the practices that you've held previously in this space, the breath, the tears or breakthroughs, the gratitude, and then clearing it, cleansing, renewing. Do the very same for your heart. Inhaling clarity, exhaling residue, inhaling renewal and exhaling release. Honoring what was, releasing what no longer serves, gratitude for what is complete, and welcoming for what is next. Your mat is not just equipment. It is a witness. It is a container. It's a sacred ground. Clearing and cleaning your mat is not about just removing sweat. It's about honoring your transformation. It's about acknowledging that growth leaves traces and that you are responsible for tending and caring for the spaces that held and continue to hold you. What else in your life needs to be wiped clean? What needs a full cycle of completion? Where else in your life are you carrying emotional release? Take the time to clear and to clean any space that has held you. You are allowed to release. You are allowed to clear. You are allowed to complete the cycles and to begin again. Honoring your mat, honoring your practice, honoring your space, honoring yourself. Thank you for sharing time and space today. May you be clear and clean. Namaste. Thanks for tuning in. I hope today's insights help you on a personal journey towards a healthier, happier life. Don't forget to join every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern for more self-care and holistic wellness tips. Before you go, make sure to comment, click the bell, like, and subscribe buttons for upcoming episode notifications. Be sure to always consult a medical professional before making any major changes regarding your health, diet, or routine. In the meanwhile, stay motivated, stay inspired, and remember, every step you take is one step closer to a better you. Until next time, keep flourishing, and as always, may all be well.